My name is Chelsea Hillard, and I'm the K-6 music teacher at Airy Elementary in Cincinnati Public Schools. Today, I will be interviewing Megan Schmitz. She's made a career in the arts thanks to all of the training and education she received as a Cincinnati Public School student. So let's go interview Megan. Well, thank you, Megan, for joining us. So I would love to start with you just telling us a little bit about yourself and where you're at in life right now and just what's going on.
I'm 31. I have a 7-year-old daughter. I work at Hollywood Casino as a Taylor Swift impersonator. I coached dance for 11 years.
So what Cincinnati Public Schools did you attend, and when did you graduate?
I went to elementary school at Cheviot Elementary, which is weird living here. I live back in Cheviot now, and it's weird to see that all the time. Like, it's weird to see a school you went to 25 years ago, like still there, still having kids go in and out, and even bigger. And then I went to the performing arts school starting in 7th grade.
When you were at performing arts, what were your majors?
I started out in, actually, this is kind of a funny story. So when I first auditioned, I didn't make it in dance, which is mind-blowing to me now. So back when we went to school there, it was a whole lot more just point, ballet, and modern maybe once a week. So there wasn't a whole lot of, it was very particular in what kind of dance they wanted. And so it's nice to see that they have broadened, because I think it's so much bigger than the basics or the core of dance. I think ballet is the core and all those are webs. So I auditioned and for the 7th grade, and I made it in creative writing and music. I mean, obviously I refused to not take no for an answer for dance. So I went back, we contacted the school. I scheduled a second audition. I remember being so nervous because I already knew she didn't like me, or not that she didn't like me, but I already knew that
you weren't
they knew that I had got declined before. Right. So I felt like I really had to prove myself. I'll never forget. She said, well, what's one dance move you can show me? And I said, well, I can do PK turns. And I did PK turns down the stage because the audition was on the stage that day. And then I ended up getting in dance the second time. But when I first entered into the school, I was in dance and drama. And then I ended up finishing just with dance.
Yeah, I remember you as like a ballerina. So that's funny that you didn't even make it the first time.
No, and whenever we did any of the auditions for any of those types of things they had you do extras for, I always did jazz and modern. Always. I never did ballet. When we had our senior choreography and everyone was, choreographing these beautiful, I was like, jazz routine, and we're going to do the song from Nelly Furtado. I'll never forget when he was watching it, he literally said, did you choreograph that? And I said, yes, I did.
Ooh, mm-hmm. And then you went on to teach for
I did.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I bet they really honestly admired the tenacity of you coming back, because so many people, if they didn't get in, I mean, just in life in general, if you fail math, you can convince yourself you're not ever going to be good at it. If you don't get into a program, you convince yourself you'll never get into a program. So that's really cool. I bet they really kind of like that.
Well, I think too, and for me too, I just remember I remember being upset, but I remember not being offended, because I felt so deeply about going there for this. And I believed in myself that I was good enough to go. And I was like, nope, they're going to see it. They're either going to believe me or they're going to see it. And we're going to do it.
Aww,
so
I love that. So after graduating from SCPA, did you go straight into the field you're in now? Or did you go to college? Or did you pursue something else? How did that work out?
So right after we graduated, I think it was actually before graduation, I was going through the interview process to work with UDA. And I ended up getting hired. So a couple weeks after high school, I started working with UDA and just traveling the country through. UDA is Universal Dance Association. It's the largest dance company in the world. They go around and they teach different camps. I'm just going to go ahead and tell it. But they teach different dance camps to it's geared towards competition teams, but I feel like it's starting to grow. But it's a lot of that. It's the one dance company that's aired on ESPN. They have nationals in Florida.
So when you were touring with them, were you teaching mini class? Were you teaching workshops, teaching the classes at the camps?
Yeah, most of the camps were 4 to 5 days long. They would start at 8 a.m. and they wouldn't stop till 9 p.m. Yeah, I mean, you would stretch in the morning. I mean, you had warm-ups throughout the day. You had periodic warm-ups, but Yeah, you learn 3 to 4 different routines. You learn jazz, pom, kick, hip hop, different genres or different types of dance, and there was different levels. So, if you wanted to take a hip hop and never taken a hip hop before, you could enter at a level 1 or 2. I'm pretty sure I learned over 20 routines. So so that you can instruct so many. So you instruct routines, you teach technique, there's combo classes. There were times when you would have personal instructions with specific teams to work on their teams for nationals, or work on different choreography with specific teams. So it was nice to help out all these teams around the country that were like nationally ranked that I looked up to. And like, I felt like I had to be like, I have to teach them when I'm obsessed, when they're my idols. So it's kind of weird too. Like, now that I think about it, like switching those roles from being the idol to the instructor. Back then, out of high school, I'm gone traveling country for a week. Get home and I get paid. I'm like, this is great.
So that was the first thing you did out of high school?
Yep. And then after that, I started college. But right when I got back, I got hired to coach the team that I graduated from. So like through high school, I was on a competition team too. So like I didn't have a life.
Yeah, so you danced at school and then you went and danced after school.
Yeah, but I loved, like, that's all I wanted to do. So it was exactly like I was exhausted and didn't have too much of a social life, but like that was the life I wanted.
That's cool.
So then like a year after I came back, I got hired to coach the little team, the primaries for Mystical Illusion. And I taught that for 3 years. And then I moved up and taught the mini team and the senior teams for a little bit. And then I got hired 8 years later at Mount Notre Dame to coach the JV. And then I got the next year I was on the varsity squad for 2 years.
Wow. So you've done it all the ages.
Yes, I've done all the ages.
So how did you get into what's the technical term for the celebrity impersonating? What is that called?
Celebrity dealer?
Okay.
We just call it celebrity dealers. I don't know.
How did you get into that?
I think it was literally just because when I got hired to work at the casino, I didn't know anything about the casino. And then I started hearing how much they make, and but really I saw that they were performing and I was like, I could do that, because like I feel like I'm outgoing, but like this talking is fine. I can't talk in front of a lot of people. That really makes me nervous. But I know on any day, you give me a microphone and turn some music, I can pretend to jam it out, because I do it in my car, I do it in my house, and then I've got some rhythm. So I decided to audition. A lot of people were super nervous to perform, and I think because we did it all the time and like I just have a passion for it, it never makes me nervous to like perform in front of people. So it was just, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, I can do that, no problem. And everyone, like all these adults are like, no, like, yeah, you just do it. It's fun. I love it.
That's awesome. So I think I've seen you've done a couple like characters, a couple people. So who all have you been?
I started as Megan Trainor, and then I did her for, maybe 3.5 years. And then I started working out and focusing on my nutrition, and I lost a little bit of weight. So I needed to change characters because I was no longer imitating her well.
So they typecast all of these roles. So typecasting, like they want you to physically look as the person looks. Okay.
Yeah, but for the most part, they want you to resemble your character.
Okay.
And my physical features don't look like her. So when I curl my hair, and for a really long time, I would get references to Taylor Swift. And so I knew I wasn't going to get Megan training anymore, and I wanted to stay in that pit because of the money. So I had to audition as Taylor Swift.
You do look like Taylor Swift, though. I could totally see the resemblance.
Well, and when I put a little effort into it to like actually try to do what she does, I feel like, and it's weird, like when people tell me, because I don't feel like I do, but sometimes if I try a little bit, I'm like, all right, I guess I can see a little resemblance, or just like.
I've seen a few of your videos, and you have her like awkward body movements down to a T, because she's an awkward dancer, but but I've also seen you do the Megan Trainor, and you looked like her, and you weren't doing the awkward, so it's cool to see you switch between the characters.
Yes, I do miss the dancing of Megan Trainor.
Yeah, she's definitely a little bit more coordinated with the dancing.
Yes, unless like whatever this stuff is.
So that's cool. So since you've graduated, you've done, oh my gosh, so let's recap. You went on tour with UDA, which is awesome. You taught dance for like over a decade, and you are still performing. So you're really hitting all the possible marks for what you were trained to do in high school.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think all the training, like, not helps you look better, but when you are on count or on rhythm or can understand music or musicality or a storyline with storytelling it through music, which all you pull from dance, it helps the audience stay interacted and engaged, so then you score higher at auditions, more players like you in regards to performance. So I think all those little things kind of help you as a performer, regardless of what you do as a performance, whether it be mocking someone or doing a legit performance. Because we have singers too, like people who actually perform.
You're actually performing too.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Okay, so then my last question would be, if you had one piece of advice for a CPS student, you can make it specific to CPA or just in general, kids that are involved in the arts, what would your piece of advice be? Join
the club or try out for the team. Don't, like, no matter how afraid you are, just do it anyway. I think I got a lot of connections through school and after that, because I didn't take no for an answer, and I kept I would try out for a UDA. Like, that was such a huge company, and that was so terrifying to do that. But I just, you'll never know until you try. And it's so stupid true that, like, people, it goes in one ear and out the other. But, like, just try out for the chess team. Go read the extra book for the book club. They pay off in the long run. I think it just all gets worth it in the long run. Whether they say no and it turns into a learning experience, or they say yes and you progress. Yeah, I got chills now that I'm thinking about how you didn't get in and then you like pursued it. I know. What if I didn't? A whole career. Like, what would you be doing right now? Like, I wouldn't be as happy. Like, a lot of people through this, especially this shutdown, have been like, oh, you're on vacation. I'm like, I'm going to tell you right now. This is not a vacation. Like, I really enjoy work. I love performing and getting dressed up and putting the fake eyelashes on and feeling fancy. And I know I get to get up on stage and perform. And it's not work for me. It's really, really fun. I just get a paycheck. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing this. I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you for sharing your time. Thank you for watching, and I hope this was helpful. I really loved Megan's story about not giving up and pursuing what was her passion, and it obviously paid off in the long run since she made a career of it. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.